Hey, you guys, this is Tamiya Robles. I am a credit repair specialist expert. I am the host of my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit. I am the owner of my company, FixMyCreditNelly50.com. Welcome. Yes, I am the owner of my company. Of course, I'm the owner of my company. Anyway, so I'm doing yet another reaction video regarding these toxic burn pits. I'm learning as you're learning if you never knew about them. This is crazy. This is bananas. But this is a video clip I found. I did not watch the video at all. I think I played it for like 3 seconds just to make sure it was playing correctly. But I'm watching this, which this is my first time looking at it. But this is from a veteran's perspective and his experience on it. So I found that to be pretty interesting. I wanted to check it out and share my reaction to it. So let me hit play. Let's get this going right now. Let me take it off mute so I can hear the.
And our buried lead, that's what we call stories we feel are not getting enough attention. Today marks the first Veterans Day since President Biden ended the U.S. involvement in the war in Afghanistan. And this morning,
again, this is an older video. This is about 2 years old.
The White House announced new plans to help some veterans who have potentially been exposed to burn pits and other hazardous materials while serving in the armed forces and are suffering as a result. Throughout Iraq and Afghanistan, burn pits were used 24/7 to incinerate all sorts of waste: food, old uniforms, medical waste, ammunition, trucks, nuclear waste, human feces, the kind.
So the video, I just did another reaction video and they didn't mention human feces. I don't know if they were just trying to be nice about it, but my client of mine, she's a vet, and she told me that in her oh my gosh, I forgot what you call in her troop. Is it, if I'm saying the wrong words, I apologize. But her troop had to specifically have burn pits for human feces, and she was around that, and it actually negatively impacted her. So this clip, they're saying it. That's good to know.
Kinds of pits that were not allowed to be constructed in the United States. Now, President Biden has previously speculated that burn pits may have been responsible for his late son Beau's brain cancer, although he has noted that he can't prove it yet. Right now, the VA only recognizes some illnesses associated with burn pits, making benefits that much harder for veterans to attain. Brain cancer, we should note, is not among them. Today's action only expanded the list.
During the time of this video, it was not. Now, due to the PACT Act, it is. Just so you know. Okay? Just so you know. But even if it's not, for example, there's so many other symptoms, so many other things, illnesses, cancers that you can claim, but brain cancer is one of them.
To include some respiratory cancers and constrictive bronchiolitis. Let's discuss with Isaiah James. He's an Army veteran. He served twice in Iraq, once in Afghanistan.
Wow.
He's now a senior policy advisor for the Black Veterans Project and has talked quite a bit about burn pits. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. According to the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, 86% of post 9/11 veterans who served in Iraq or Afghanistan say they were exposed to burn pits. You were one of those service members.
86%. The military should be ashamed of themselves. The government should be ashamed of themselves.
In fact, you worked on a burn pit. Explain to our audience what that was like and what you're experiencing now.
Well, what it's like is you don't really understand what it's like. You're just doing what you're told. You're following orders. You're just burning everything. It's hot. It's dusty. It's disgusting. You know, my first deployment, we had to burn human feces, and my third deployment in Afghanistan, we lived in the mountains and everything was dirty, and we just burned everything. What I'm dealing with now are the repercussions and the ramifications of those actions. You know, I have respiratory issues. I have lung scarring. I'm on breathing treatments every single day just to be able to breathe. And I'm not an aberration. I'm millions of veterans across this country.
So John Stewart, who's very active on this issue, he has a new podcast where he interviews you and he interviews your late friend, Staff Sergeant Wesley Black, a fellow burn pit victim and activist. He had colon cancer. He died just after the interview. I want to play a little bit of.
Just so you know, colon cancer, anything related of or pertaining to, is covered under the PACT Act, y'all.
about what Staff Sergeant Black said.
I first started arguing about burn pit legislation, thinking that I wasn't going to make a difference. You know, I was just one single voice. That how much can a difference can one voice make?
Right.
And as I've continued down this path, now I'm thinking more of what legacy I'm leaving behind for my son, and what my son is going to think of me in 10, 12, 15, 25 years. I hope in some small way that my choosing to stand up for what is right will forever last in his mind of, you know, my dad was a good person.
And we should note today's move, and look, it's a step in the right direction. They expanded the list of diseases, but it would not have helped Staff Sergeant Black. It does not cover colon cancer. What do you think of today's move?
Today's move, like you said, was a step in the right direction, but quite frankly, Jake, it's a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. It's a placation move. There are some 40 to 50 different cancers and diseases linked to these same chemicals that our soldiers were exposed to during toxic burn pits. And I don't understand why, for the life of me, there's the hemming and hawing to try to get these things as presumptive
I do.
Diseases.
I have a whole opinion on why. I'll save it for another video. We're almost done with this one, but I'm just saying, if you think about it, you can figure it out.
Need an actual comprehensive bill that is going to take care of veterans. We see this after every single war with every generation. I applaud the Biden administration for taking the step in the right direction, but we need big, bold, transformational leadership on this issue.
And this trash, this burn pits, it's been burning for 20 years. If you're a service member experiencing symptoms such as respiratory cancer, what happens now when you go to the VA?
Well, right now, the VA, first of all, they should be ashamed of themselves. Second of all, it's an adversarial relationship. The VA is basically victim blaming. They tell you, the service member, prove to me that you got this cancer from the burn pit, instead of let me treat this cancer and let me go back on the back end and audit it. We need a VA that's going to actually take the charge that Lincoln set forth.
Jesus, I agree. And again, y'all, the PACT Act, it's assumptive and presumptive. Okay, so you don't have to prove yourself. Now there is a section where you could go for a toxic screening, and I feel even that is excessive, because all soldiers were property of the U.S. military. The U.S. government, you were property of. So they know where you were. They know what happens. Like, this is so frustrating, and it's so disheartening and sad and so many other adjectives, but whatever. I digress.
To care for him and her who have borne the brunts of battle. So right now, it's basically you're trying to pull crocodile teeth to get the VA to even recognize you have these diseases from the burn pits.
Yeah.
On top of all this, on this Veterans Day, we should acknowledge veterans continue to struggle with mental health concerns, quite understandably. But between your last 2 deployments, you were hospitalized in Germany for post-traumatic stress. Is the government doing enough to address mental health issues when it comes to veterans?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's people that I've seen their file. I have personally gone into their va.gov personal account, and I've seen the disabilities they have claimed, and I've seen the ones that the government accepted and the ones that they have denied. They stay denying the mental medical issues. The PTSD I have seen denied. Okay, the sleep apnea seen denied. It's been denied. Okay. What makes you think this is not service related? It is. They know it is. But if they accept, this is what I'm thinking. If they accept everyone's PTSD claims, mental disability claims, then they got to pay everybody out. So they're filtering it out, but there's way too many PTSD. Everybody and their mama got some PTSD if they served. Okay. Some people get PTSD not even serving in a war, right? Not fighting in a war or whatever. and they have PTSD for other shit that's going on. Again, I got a client, sexual trauma, sexual abuse, PTSD. Cut it out. Service connected.
If this was a movie, the government would be the villain.
Disgusting.
We spend hundreds of billions of dollars every year on the weapons and the mechanisms of war, yet we just forget the war fighters when they come home. 22 veterans a day are killing themselves. That is an absolute travesty in the richest nation on earth. The government, again, needs to have skin in the game. It's very easy for politicians to sit back, the ones who don't have to go, they're not from poor neighborhoods like I was, and then they use us as cannon fodder and political grandstanding to say they support the troops. But the troops are telling you, we need help. We don't want to be treated better than everybody. We don't want to be treated worse. We just want what you promised us. We went in your name. You told us if we fought, you would take care of us. And now that bill has come due.
With the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan, there's been a renewed mental health crisis within the veteran community. Now that it's been a few months, what is your takeaway from how the U.S. pulled troops out of Afghanistan?
There's never an easy way to end a 20-year conflict. I think we ended it 19 years too late. You know, after I was in Afghanistan, quite frankly, when we got Osama bin Laden, I was 60 miles away from the Pakistan border. I was in Maywand, Afghanistan, and I turned to my lieutenant and I asked him, I was like, sir, why are we still here if we got him? You know, there's never a right way to end a war, but we had to end it. It was always going to be messy. It was always going to be bloody, you know, and quite frankly, those who have never been there and served, their opinions aren't really, you know, warranted. I let the generals who are there on the ground tell me what we need to do, but we had to get out. We cannot keep falling for this same thing of trying to nation build around the world. It never ends well, as we can see.
Isaiah James, you honor us by being here on Veterans Day. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for all the sacrifices you have made for the rest of us.
For sure. Thank you.
Keep up the fight. We're going to keep interviewing you and bringing this to the American people.
Thank you so much for having me and for using your platform to elevate this issue.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow. It's so heavy. And I agree with him at the end. I mean, if you weren't part of the struggle, if you weren't in the service fighting, you don't really have anything to say. There's nothing for you to say. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. But like, it should be nothing for y'all to say. They're not asking for anything other than what they were promised. Exactly. Even my clients have said that to me. And I had one client that said, I don't care if I'm supposed to get a pencil every year. You promised me that pencil every year. I haven't seen a pencil since I've been released from the military. I want you to backdate it from when I got released till now. I want all my pencils. You understand? I'm saying it. He said it in a funny way to help a non-vet understand his pain, but I understood his pain without him being metaphoric about it. But I get it. You want everything that comes with it. You risking your life and becoming America's sacrifice. I totally get it. Again, I got stuff to say. I'm gonna do a completely different rant, different video and rant, and like, yeah, hopefully you rock out with that. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts were on this video, your experience. If you have any, let us know. Let us know. Are you, now that they passed this law, the PACT Act, are you guys gonna act on it and increase your disability? It's not hard. It's presumptive and assumptive now, right? I've been doing it for a couple of my clients. You know, I could do it for you. I know that website is crazy. It's bananas. But get it where you can before they do some other fly shit. Okay? This is so frustrating, but I'm gonna move on. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, whatnot. Therefore, R2. You need your credit fixed. Yes, I can fix your credit. I'm still doing credit repair. This is just an additional service that I'm offering my vets. Just because I offer new services doesn't mean that I still don't do credit. So I'll be more clear with that. But let me know what y'all thoughts are for real, because this is crazy. It's frustrating and crazy. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. I wish you guys the best of luck